Oh, you can see much more of ourselves on this view. On the preview
We're live.
Here we are.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's Saturday.
Yes, it feels like summer.
It's also today 4th of July or Independence Day.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We're going to be celebrating later.
Yep. Heard lots of fireworks last night.
Yeah.
Probably the neighbors up over the hill. Yeah. And then when I was going to bed, I heard them the other direction.
So it's going to be a different 4th of July. We'll chat a little bit. Welcome if you're seeing the recording. We're going to wait to give a few minutes, some time to some people who might be joining us live. So we'll chat a bit. It is 4th of July. It's going to be a very different 4th of July for so many reasons, living in a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But here we're going to continue with a tradition that we do most years of getting together with some friends.
Yep.
They may be watching. We'll see. And instead of, we got rid of our barbecue earlier this year because it was falling apart. And we don't really barbecue. I don't eat meat or chicken. And Jason doesn't really barbecue that much. So we got rid of it. So we're going to start a new tradition this year. We're going to be 6 feet apart in our backyard. And Jason's making nachos for everyone.
Right? Cinco de Mayo, 4th of July
nachos. So our friends didn't mind. They love nachos as much as we do. And I made cupcakes. So it is a bizarro world. So we have a few people joining today. Hi, Dare to Dream Big. I'm not sure your name. I know you emailed me yesterday. Nice to meet you. Who else is on? Hey, Polly, Diana, Kim, Lloyd. Polly, you're having your first dinner party. It is nice. It is nice. It's so nice to have so many people. I didn't think anyone was going to join us today because everyone's getting ready for 4th of July. But it's great to see everyone.
It is a great day for a picnic up here in Connecticut.
It is. It is. Who else is on there? Allison. Hey, Allison. How are you? Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. I hope everyone is staying safe, being well up in here in Connecticut. We're doing good. We're still wear your mask. Please wear your mask wherever you are in the world. It's really, really important. We're doing good up here in Connecticut, but I know other parts of the country are not doing so great health-wise. So please stay safe, everyone. Yeah, we'll get started. Let's see who else just joined. Diana, hi from Bloomfield, Connecticut. Yeah, relaxing at home. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Connecticut. Yesterday we had some really big, it was wickedly humid, probably the most humid day of the year.
Yeah, it was like Florida.
It was like Florida here.
Lloyd can relate.
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, Peggy. Hi from New Jersey. Yay, New Jersey. One of our favorite places to visit, especially the Southern Shore. So welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sherry. I am the creative behind Whole Circle Studio. I'm a designer, independent pattern publisher, teacher. When it's safe to travel, I teach in person. And for now, I'm teaching virtually from our photo studio here, Whole Circle Studio. And this is my husband, Jason. Jason's the other part of Whole Circle Studio, does a lot of the behind the scenes things, and joins me every Saturday here on Whole Circle Studio Live, where we catch up what's going on in the week. And
I'm making nachos today.
I'm talking about quilting mostly, but sometimes our other things in life too. So we're here just outside New Haven, Connecticut in our home studio. So, and we're here every Saturday, like I said, talking about quilting, talking about what's going on. And sometimes you get even more, you get things, what's going on in the garage and what we're eating as well. Oh, Peggy, thank you. I'll talk about my apples in a minute. Thank you for the love. So what was happening this week? This week, as part of the last class of the curves, Get Comfortable Peace and Curves online workshop that I wrapped up this week, I did a midi trunk show of quilting.
You had a lot of curved pieces to show.
I did. Well, it was a good thing because it was a curved class.
Know.
So we wrapped up the class. The students are doing an amazing job. I'm really enjoying seeing all their quilts that they're making. And so as part of the last class, it wasn't a quilting class, but I gave sort of my strategies behind quilting, specifically quilting curved quilts. So that was a lot of fun. Jason was behind the camera as usual.
Yep.
So we wrapped up that class. A couple of weeks, I'm going to be working with a guild virtually, doing a presentation trunk show and also a full day class. It's a really great alternative doing it virtually while it's not safe for us to meet in person.
That's a Saturday class.
It is.
What are we going to do with the live?
We'll have to figure that out. Maybe
we'll make the live a cameo in the middle of the class.
We might. That's in a couple of weeks. So this summer I'm going to be working with guilds. All the time I'm working with guilds and shops, but exclusively with them this summer. And at the same time, we're doing some research into other platforms to teach online, and I'll be teaching some other classes. So stay tuned for those announcements in the late summer, early fall. If you hear that jingling in the background, Casey is itching. Casey the dog.
I think she's itchy because she's shedding.
Maybe.
That's what I'm guessing.
So what else happened? Oh, last week, if you joined us last week, you saw the apple turnover quilt, which we'll open. Maybe we'll open that up in a minute. I finished quilting that this week, which was super exciting. And yesterday, while it was cloudy and not windy, I was able to photograph it outdoors. So that's a lot of fun. That pattern will be available in August. And I was actually thinking about doing a quilt along, an online sew along quilt along, and maybe making Whole Circle Studio part of it. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. In the meantime, I'm making some more versions of apple turnover, a runner version, and some other cute things that I have in the works. And I'll be unveiling those in the next couple of weeks when the pattern, excuse me, is available later this month. Yeah, so I did a fair amount of sewing and quilting this week.
It was a lot of getting this cranked out, especially at the last minute, so we can get the cloudy day for the photo. I was binding like crazy on what day is it? On Thursday night and Friday morning to get, since the weather was cooperating. So yeah, I photograph a lot of my quilts, but a lot, especially all like the flat lays, the big where you could see edge to edge of the quilt outdoors. And the trick with that, with photographing your quilts, the best sort of lighting is outdoor lighting when it's like an overcast or cloudy day. And of course, when it's not windy. Or raining.
Yeah.
It's either been sunny or thunder and pouring.
Here, yeah. So yesterday morning was really good. So that's a tip for photographing your quilts, that outdoor, not direct sunlight, but outdoor light is the best kind of light. So let's see, I don't see any other comments coming in. So we're going to probably keep it quick this week since we're getting ready. But there was a few things I thought that were interesting to show for 4th of July. One was, I forgot until this week, a block that I worked on. I designed, I think about 3 or 4 years ago. This is one version of it. It's called Connections, and it just reminds me of 4th of July. Sort of fireworks. I actually took some photos of it with sparklers. I'm going to put a link to the original blog post that I did a couple of years ago in the description once this video is done. So this block I designed to be a part of, the Splendid Sampler 2 block. So 100 different designers were asked to be a part to design a block for this book. And so quilters can buy the book and make one or all of the blocks. Lots of great descriptions, all tested and everything. And then they can make the full quilt. And it's interesting, this is the second. It was a book organized by Pat Sloan and Jane Davidson. I'll put a description of this in the notes below when the video is done. This was the second one that they had done. And it was interesting because we have been at quilt shows where we've seen in the first one, they had 100 other designers.
Is that a picture of it on the back? Is that the first one on the back?
No, that's the second one. I'll show you that in a minute. But it's just, they pop up. It's a pretty popular series. And so mine is on page 127, opposite, and I just realized this last night, another friend of mine, Debbie Browns, is here. She's a friend of mine on 126. But this was the original block, which is very patriotic. I don't have that block anymore because I sent it to them to be photographed and part of the book. And then on the back, I should have looked ahead of time, is the quilt with all of the blocks put together. So you could put it how they suggest it, or you can organize it your own. But it's a fun book. I think it's still in print, so you could pick that up. And myself and 99 other designers are a part of that book. This was another test block I put together in greens and whites. It is a foundation paper piecing block, as you could see. But the book, all the blocks have lots of different techniques, from applique to just traditional piecing, English paper piecing. There's some applique in here. So it's a fun book if you're looking to make all of the same. It makes all of the blocks finish this size. And it's really interesting. I think there's a whole Facebook group for people who are working on it and sharing what they're working on. And while the book came out a couple of years ago, that's still a pretty active group. Yeah. Do you remember?
I do. As you were flipping through it, I didn't remember there were so many different.
Yeah.
There's little hexes. There's curves. There's traditional. There's embroidery.
Yeah, all sorts of things. So
if you want to try a new skill on a small scale.
Yeah, it's a good test, to a good sort of sampler. I guess it would be like a sampler quilt. So yeah, so that block reminded me, especially the original one, the red, white, and blue one that was done, I did for the book, reminded me of 4th of July. So we thought we'd share that. And then we figured we're going to try to hold up the apple turnover quilt because what's more American than apple pie? So we'll show you guys a peek of that. The full quilt, I think it was folded up last week. Let's see if you can get it in.
Which size is the top?
That is the top, actually.
This?
Yeah, but it's all symmetrical. So, so that is, we will hold it up. The full quilt. This is the throw size, and maybe we'll try to do a close up. It's a really pretty. It was actually, some of you, especially if you own a shop, would have seen it. It was inspired by this collection that was just announced last month for Ruby Star Society. The designer of the fabric is Kim Kite, and the name of the collection is Small, S-M-O-L, which is sort of, I guess, a Scandinavian.
You say it sounds like an IKEA.
Yeah, it does, a Scandinavian word. So that was the name of the collection. There are some apples. You can see the green apples in here. So I was inspired. I got a sneak peek of that fabric, I think back in January or February, and I had designed the quilt, and it was actually featured in their catalog when the collection was released a couple of weeks ago. And so shops have been pre-purchasing the pattern. So we're finishing that up and getting it out, and then we'll be releasing it as a PDF as well, direct to all of you. So stay tuned for that. And those were the big thing that's going on this week, I think, in the studio.
Yep.
Can't think of anything else.
There's a hole in the house.
Jason, go ahead, Jason. You can give. I know this is also, we've become a segment. I feel like we need like a segment.
What's going on in the garage?
Well, the studio, quite honestly, the studio is the house. The house is the studio. So go on, Jason. You can talk about what you're doing. I'll look at comments while you're talking.
I pulled the window out of the house to take it apart and rebuild it because it's got rot on the windowsill. So that's the weekend project, is pull the window out, pull it apart in the garage, cut new wood, put it back together, put it back in the house.
Yeah. So Jason is blessing us with his presence while in between a lunch break. That's so right. Yeah, let me see the comments. Oh, thank you for all the love of Apple. My mom is on here. Thanks, Mom. Allison, Peggy. Excellent. Kim, is that
Spectrotastic.
Oh, the background fabric. That is actually, the background is speckled by Ruby Star Society. I think the color is white gold. They have a whole collection of sort of this metallic-y speckled fabric, and it is called just speckled, I think. And that particular colorway is the white gold. Yeah, it's a really versatile print. And their fabric, the Ruby Star fabric, is a really great quality. It's now through Moda, and so the quality of the fabric and the gray goods that they use to print on is just really, really great. So I love working with it. It's a good fabric, and that's half the battle, is having good materials and good fabric to work with, both prints but also quality wise. Yeah, Kim, thumbs up. Yeah, excellent. Good. So I think that is about it for this week. Nice. So I hope everyone has a great 4th of July weekend if you're in the US and celebrate it. If not, have a great weekend, because I know we have some viewers outside the US. Mm-hmm. If you're watching this either live or the recording, please hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified when we have new videos. We're here every Saturday at noon. And also, if you subscribe, it helps out the show. As soon as I think it's hits 1,000 subscribers, we can use the phone, and that means when we're traveling, we can do these as well. So I hope everyone has a great week. If you have questions, even after this, please leave them in the comments, questions or comments. We love, I read them all and respond to them all. And I love hearing from you all. So have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye.
Bye, everybody.